At me. Okay, so here we are again at the Artistic Talent Show. And of course, my name is Melvin Eisen. I'm your producer for Brooklyn Artistic Talent Show here on Brick Arts Medium, downtown Brooklyn, on right off of Rockwell. So that's where we at right now on the second floor, the mini studio. And so I have an distinguished guest here. He's a great artist. I known him from the Dorsey Art Show, actually the Dorsey Gallery and the Fulton Art Show and the
True.
Bailey and all the rest of them.
True.
But anyway, I got him here and he's going to answer some questions and he's got a story that he probably want to share with you as well. Okay, so the first thing is tell us your name and a little bit about yourself because you don't have to go too much about yourself because I get the questions to lead you
Okay.
into. So tell us your
Well, my name is Gerald Jones, and I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, Bedford and Stuyvesant. I was born and raised here, so I'm comfortable being here. And I have studied my art from a child when I was small. My main goal was to, well, the story is my father used to sit down and doodle when he came home from work, and I used to see him doodle, and I wondered how could he do that. And then I used to run upstairs, and I would try to doodle, and after a while, I come to find out that I could do it pretty good. I could do it better than he did, but I didn't tell him that. I didn't tell him that, but I found that I could actually do it, and I started getting interested in sketching and whatnot at an early age. I say when I was in public school,
Yeah.
mainly in public school.
Okay.
And then it went on from there, and I progressed as the years came along.
Yeah.
Uh, I think when I really got interested in the arts.
Okay, before you continue on, because some of the questions are going to lead you into
Okay.
that
Yeah.
particular situation. Okay, what three words friends and family would use to describe you, Gerald?
Uh, Amazing. Let me stop. I would say kind, considerate, and loving. I guess those would be the words.
Okay. And how would you describe yourself?
Uh, Sometimes kind.
Okay.
I'm normal. I would say I'm normal. I don't want to put myself above or lower. I'm a normal human being.
Right.
I got my ups and downs,
Yeah.
but I'm a pretty good guy, I would say.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, what inspired you to wake up every morning?
Oh, this might sound strange.
No,
but,
no.
it's to work on a piece of art.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my life is about now. Is my art. I wake up, I'm eager to start on the piece. Because my studio is in my house, and I have a separate studio room. And I wake up, and the first thing I do after I do all the normal things, I go in there and figure out what I'm going to do next with my art.
Okay. So, who would you say inspired you?
Like I said, my father.
Oh.
My father. Yeah, my father.
Okay, what challenges have you struggled with to become an artist?
Oh, many challenges. Like I said, when I was younger, I got a grant to go to Pratt Institute when I was in Boys High School, and I went there for 2 summer semesters under the Student Art League, and I really struggled with that. Because I started to give it at one time because it was 7 of us, my siblings, and my father and mother was working hard, and they couldn't afford to really send me there, and it was a struggle for me to go there. But I completed the 2. I think that was the hardest thing I could do because it was hard for me to ask my mother and father for money for equipment, for art, and we needed food, But it was a struggle then, I think. But I got past it. Ever since then, it's I take it in stride. I take my art in stride.
Okay. How long have you been an artist?
I would say that all my life, really, all my life. As I can remember, I was always, like I said, when I was younger, I was always drawn to art in some sort of way. My brother, he was a musician. He sang. and I considered that art. That was an art form that I enjoyed. I wanted to be a singer, but I couldn't sing really. But he could sing, and that was an art form to me. And my mother and my grandmother, they was in church, and they used to sing in the choirs and whatnot. You know, but my father, like I said, my father, he was the only one. He used to do. I used to love to see him draw on the papers. So I said, I want to do that. And that's when I came into, being an art. The next thing that encouraged me to be an artist is my grandmother, she was the matriarch of the family. And one day she came to the house. We had an assignment to do. I went to 258 public school, junior high school, and our teacher gave us an assignment to draw the 3 ships of Columbus, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. And I was sitting down, I was sketching them, and I almost completed my work. And my grandmother came by, and my grandmother, the type, she wasn't really eager to please people. You didn't please her just like that. She was a matriarch. And when I was coming up, children was seen and not heard. And we were sitting at the kitchen table, and she came past and she looked. I could feel her looking at my work, and she patted me on the head and said, "Gerald, that's beautiful. I love that." And I said, "Yeah, I would be an artist because one thing, if you could please my grandmother, you did it. Believe it, because she didn't give out those type of things easily. You had to earn it, and I think I earned it. And I was so happy. I ran upstairs and told my brother and sisters. I said, "Dear," she said, "my work is nice and whatnot." And I think that kind of like pushed me along. Okay. Because I always wanted to impress my grandmother. And I think that helped me, decide what I wanted to be.
So are you self-taught, or did you go to school?
Well, mainly I went to, like I said, I got 2 grants when I was going to, I went to Boys High, the old Boys High, and I got 2 grants in the summertime to go to Pratt Institute. So I took 2 summer courses, 2 different years, and that helped me. And then after that, when I got out of the service, I went to Brooklyn College under the GI Bill, and I did 2 semesters there. So and that helped me along, to give me some foundation of the arts. But and even now, I'm enrolled in Lehman College for sculpture. I decided to take sculpture. I could have took sculpture when I was going to Pratt Institute, when I had the grants, summer grants. But when I was coming up, there was a thing called being fresh and clean. And when you're dealing in, ceramics, and you're dealing in clay, I deal in clay and hard wax and cement, all kinds of stuff, and it get real messy. So I said, no, I'm not going to take that. I was selective, course. I'm not taking that because I got to walk out fresh and clean, for the girls. So I didn't take it then. But I recently started taking sculpture at Lehman College. I'm doing sculpture now. I'm studying sculpture, and every time I complete a project, I always say I wish I could have took this earlier because I could have did more, be more into it. And I enjoy it. So I'm doing that now.
Okay, so when did you start drawing?
Drawing? Well, like I said, basically, I started like when I was young with my father, but I really didn't realize that I had the talent to do it until I think I was in junior high school. I would say public school really, in the last part of public school before I went to junior high school. And I was sitting down drawing, and I started drawing the human body. I was looking at my brothers and whatnot. I started drawing their faces, the human figure, and I actually could draw the human figure because at that time most of the students in my class, they couldn't draw the human figure real good, and I used to like read books on anatomy and whatnot, and I found out that I could actually draw the human figure, and that kind of got me too because I could see when I draw the human figure, I can see just more than the outer layers of the body. I can see the inner bodies and the movement and whatnot. That kind of like fascinated me. So then I said, that's what I want to do. I want to be an artist. I want to draw. That's when I first really
Mm.
got dedicated to drawing. Paint.
So, yeah, how many mediums do you use?
Well, basically one.
Okay.
Uh, Oils. I love oils. Um, some people I describe it as the fact that I love oils as a construction worker. Because with oils, it takes time. You know, when you got other mediums, watercolors and acrylics and whatnot, they seem to dry quicker and you
Right.
can't work with them.
Yeah.
And I like to work with them. I change the oils and do this and, you just go crazy with it. And I found out I enjoy doing that.
Mm.
I like the progress. I like the method of working with oils. And I think I express myself better in oils than any other.
All right. Do you belong to any art organization?
Yes, right now I belong to the Fulton Art Fair,
Mm-hmm.
the station in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honored to be the vice president of the
Mm-hmm.
organization now, and we coming along, and we're going to have our celebration in June for the 60th anniversary of this organization. And like I said, I'm honored to be a part of it because when I was coming up as a kid, they used to have the fair out there. When I was a kid, I used to come and participate in in the entertainment and whatnot at the fair. And this was years ago, but now we have grown for 60 years. And I was amazed at some of the artists that participated and that were the founders of this organization, because I really, I just took it for granted. It was an art show and they had music and everything, but I didn't really know the history of it till recently. And I'm honored to be a part of this.
Great. So, have you had any commissions?
Yes, I have had commissions of quite a few commissions. I can't go through all of them, but I have commissions to do paintings for a lawyer that he was. I had a show at City Hall, J Street Borough Hall, City Hall, and this lawyer was there, and he commissioned me to do a few paintings for him. He was from Spain. So, and I did a few for him. I did different commissions for different people. Nobody really famous or anything, but I have people that's worthy of my work to purchase some. Like Otto O'Neill, he purchased a few of my paintings and different.
And what about in private or public collections?
Do anybody have my private?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, one of them is my sister. She has quite a few. She always she commissions me to do work too, with some of her friends and whatnot, and she has a big collection of my work. Let's see who else. Like I said, Otto O'Neill, he has a couple of my pieces. Different people.
Yeah.
They're not famous or anything or not collected, but they collect my. One person that I was amazed that collected my work is Eric Edwards.
Okay.
You know who he is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
He has a piece of my work. I was in a show with him at a City Hall in a Mega Evans college. He had a show a few years back, and I had a piece there in the show, and he had collected it. He bought it. So. Yeah.
So what about an individual show have you exhibit in your work?
Yeah, let's see. Individual shows, the Restoration in Brooklyn. I did a show at Oak Buffett's up in New York. I did City Hall. I did in Jersey. I did a show in Jersey. Couple of shows in Jersey. I did all over, really.
So tell us something about Dorsey. How important Dorsey is to you?
Well, Dorsey, I think is like I said, it's like one of the cornerstones, especially for Afro-American artists. It represents quality art, and it supports new artists. Because when I first the first time I came to Dorsey's, I was amazed at the people that was in Dorsey's, and I was, a novice at it, and they brought me in, and they uh, invited me to do a show with some other artists there. I actually stole some work there,
Oh, okay.
you know, and uh, and I know the artists, some of the artists from way back, and to me, Dorsey is what our community needs more of. Dorsey galleries like that, because it's it's known but not well enough known, as far as I'm concerned. The people doesn't know the artists that affiliate with it. You affiliated with it. I'm affiliated with Wiggleworth and all different artists, and I figured we should promote Dorsey Gallery.
Okay, so what do you consider to be the most important in your life of art?
Oh, well, this is the story. I don't want to take too long with it.
No, because
Yeah, but what had happened when
At the
after I got out of Brooklyn College, I was like, I knew the techniques of art, I knew all that, but I was in like in a void. I wasn't sure of myself as an artist, and I was in Harlem one day, and I was getting some pictures framed, and I was talking to these African artists in Harlem, and we was in H&M Gallery, getting some work done. And I was telling them about my, predicament. I said, I can paint. I said, I know all the techniques and whatnot, I can paint, but I don't feel that I'm right there yet. And they was telling me, what an artist is, well, what you do? He says, in my village, when we have an artist, a drummer, or dancer, or musician, or poet, or whatnot, what we do, we have a ceremony for them. And what we do, call upon our ancestors, their ancestors, to give them strength and purpose and guidance as an artist to bring out their talent. And he asked me the same question. He says, what type of animals do you like? I said, I like animals with horns. He says, well, what you do? What I want you to do is when you go home, he said, I want you to meditate, call upon your ancestors to give you guidance and give you an identity as an artist. And he says, use those figures that you said you like as your guides. And at first I said, I don't know what these guys are smoking. I ain't never been in a conversation like that with someone, and they told me to connect with my ancestors, but I did it. And I meditated and I called upon them, because I was kind of lost as an artist, and I called upon them to give me guidance and give me purpose. And lo and behold, and I tell people this all the time, I started painting about a week later, and like those pictures up there, these particular figures, I started painting them, and I could actually feel it.
okay.
I could feel it. It wasn't just like painting something to paint it. I became part of it, and this became my spiritual quest. As my spiritual guide as an artist, I felt whole. And one of the African artists told me, he says, you'll know when you reach that point. He said because you'll be able to paint water. He said, not only will you be able to paint water, you'll be able to paint water wet.
Okay.
And he said you can swim in it if you want to. And right then, now as an artist, I can paint water. I can say I can actually paint water wet, and I can swim in it. And that's when I know I arrived with my ancestors. That I reached that point that that was there, and I've been painting.
So basically, you answer the question of who you are and what is your purpose, because you already that's the whole thing right there.
Yeah.
But what I want you to do is all these paintings that you see right there, sum it up, because we're just dealing with the time. Sum it up in one,
Well,
everything that we see.
I could say it's my journey. It's the way I look at life. I used it as a tool to express myself.
Right.
I used to, like I said, depend on doing my art, like these pictures here. I used to get permission to do paintings, and I used to do it for other people, and I used to wonder if they liked it or didn't like it. But I know when I was in school, one of my teachers told me, he said, Gerald, as an artist, your purpose is to create. He says sometimes you'll create a painting, you do whatever work you do, and some people will like it and some people won't. He says, as an artist, as a creator, that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to get a reaction. He says you're gonna get good reactions and you're gonna get bad reactions. But he says your purpose is to get a reaction. He says when you get worried, is when you don't get a reaction. Then you haven't did your job. He says, then you worry. But he says, as long as you get a reaction, you did your job. And that's what I do. I know some people look at my work and say, oh my God. You know, some people say, oh, that's nice. I got the reaction. And I'm satisfied with that. You know, that's the purpose of it.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well, this has come time to the interview is closing out, and it's about over. It was my pleasure, an honor to interview you, Gerald. And you know, you gave a message, and you know, everybody out there listened to you, and now they know about Gerald.
Yeah, I'm great.
Everything who you are,
right.
And all your artwork.
Yeah,
you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely. So it's a pleasure,
Yeah,
Gerald.
thank you. Thank you very
you're
much.
a military man.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I served in Vietnam for two tours in Vietnam.
Yes.
And so I was happy to serve my country.
Oh, no doubt. No
You
doubt.
know.
Thank you for serving.
Yeah. So and I'm glad to be back home.
Hey, here we go. All right, Joe.
Okay, thank you again.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gerald Jones, and I'm a visual artist, and I reside in the Bronx, but I'm born and raised right here in Brooklyn, and I participate in this festival, this exhibit every year for the last 10 years, and I'm proud to be a part of it. I went to school in Brooklyn. I got married in Brooklyn. I raised my kids in Brooklyn, and I'm a Brooklynite. I've studied art at Pratt Institute. When I came home from Vietnam, I enrolled in a GI program and studied and completed my education at Brooklyn College. And but now I reside in the Bronx, and I participate in all boroughs with my art. My first piece I want to explain is called A Spiritual Quest. It's spiritual entities having human experiences. And with this particular painting, I try to illustrate the spiritual entities questing light, searching for light, searching for wisdom. I use these particular colors to illustrate that there are multiple colors and spiritual entity. There's no basic color. There's color and energy and all spirits. This one here this is called The Journey. It try to illustrate what the spiritual entities are seeking light. They seeking space, and they can bind it all together to make one journey. And I tried to illustrate with all the different colors that once again, that you need all the spiritual entities together to make that journey. I try to make it positive in a way that it's a positive message. This one here is called The Awakening. This here also illustrates spiritual entities on a spiritual journey. And as you see, once again, they all have to be joined to combine together to make this quest. And by doing so, making this quest, they vibrate energies where they also create the face of energy. And therefore they can bind and they on their journey. And these particular ones here is like the guardians of the spirits. And I try to, once again, is to make all the entities combine in the colors. And their method is combined to make one mighty spiritual journey.